Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world. The midday news on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Here's a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We begin from Borno State, where Governor Babagana Zulum has visited Darul Jamal, a town at the border with Cameroon that hosts a military base under heavy military escort. The governor, whose visit follows a terror attack that killed 63 people, including 5 soldiers, said the terrorists unleashed the mayhem on the town where residents had returned a month earlier from a displacement camp. Uyi Agbomofuegbe completes the report.
The latest attack raises questions about Nigeria's push in recent years to close down camps for internally displaced persons and return their inhabitants to the countryside. Governor Zulum confirmed to journalists at the scene of the attack the casualty figure.
It's very sad. This community was resettled some months ago, and they are going about their normal businesses, but unfortunately they had a Boko Haram attack yesterday. So we are here purposely to commiserate with them and to build their resilience. As of now, we confirm that 63 have lost their lives. Yes, both the civilians and the army. But the civilian casualties are more.
While jihadist violence has waned since the peak of the Boko Haram insurgency between 2013 and 2015, militants, including rival Islamic State's West African province, continue to launch attacks across rural areas in the northeast, a situation that has now made Governor Zulum to say the numerical strength of the Nigerian army requires an upward review.
The numerical strength of the Nigerian army is not enough to contain the situation.
Residents said the attack began around 8:30 p.m. local time, when dozens of fighters arrived on motorbikes, firing assault rifles and torching homes. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima has responded to the tragic attack by Boko Haram insurgents in Darul Jamal community, Bama local government area of Borno State, offering deep condolences to the bereaved families and assuring them that the federal government is committed to bringing the perpetrators to justice. A statement by the Vice President's spokesman, Stanley Nkocha, reiterated that President Bola Tinubu has ordered armed forces to immediately review security operations across Nigeria, including deployment of advanced military hardware and surveillance equipment. Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has called on the federal government to suspend all foreign trips by public officials until Nigeria's worsening insecurity crisis is brought under control. Obi's statement came in the wake of what he described as a bloody weekend, which saw more than 100 people killed across Borno, Sokoto, Katsina, and Edo State. Obi said Nigeria's casualty figures are now commensurate and comparable to those countries at war, insisting that government officials must focus entirely on the crisis at home. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, says the federal government will continue to explore the traditional institutions for peace-building efforts across the country. Akume, who stated this during the Igede Agba Festival held in Oju local government area of Benue State, described traditional institutions as a veritable tool for present administration to explore to solve development purposes and other sundry issues. He lauded the Igede Traditional Council for preserving its rich cultural heritage, which he described as remained a beacon of unity among its sons and daughters. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved issuance of new statutory rights of occupancy and certificates of occupancy to 374 property owners across 15 streets in Abuja. The Federal Capital Territory Administration said it has discovered that the owners of the properties have illegally converted the land use of properties without official approval. The development comes after administration discovered that the affected allottees unilaterally converted the designed land use of their properties without official approval, thereby violating the terms and conditions of their existing right of occupancy. Moving to the education sector, where the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has assured the Academic Staff Union of Universities and the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics that efforts are being made to keep tertiary institutions running. The minister noted that a holistic negotiation with various unions is ongoing, insisting that it is needless going on strike during the talks. He urged the union that have served strike notice to shelve their planned action. In the meantime, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives at the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, has issued a 15-day ultimatum to management warning of imminent industrial action if unresolved welfare and workplace issues are not addressed. In a notice jointly signed by the association's chairperson, Ojewumi Olutayo, and Secretary Adedomnu Monsola, the nurses said the decision followed a resolution of their Congress. The union stated that despite an earlier memorandum of understanding with the management, only 2 items, including the payment of uniform allowance and regularization of certain cadre of nurses, had been implemented. In a related development, the Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Capital Territory, has commenced a 7-day warning strike. The association disclosed this in a communique issued by its president, Dr. George Ubong, and other executive members. The resident doctors described the Federal Capital Territory health system as a long-standing systemic failure requiring comprehensive and immediate action. The federal government has launched the Renewed Hope Empowerment Program for widows and survivors of gender-based violence in Benue State. Our Benue State correspondent, Felicity Ndere, reports from the Government House in Makurdi, where the program focused on empowering women, and files in this report.
20 agro-women entrepreneurs received 1 million naira each, while 100 women got 50,000 naira grants to grow their businesses. 24 survivors of gender-based violence also benefited.
This is for you on behalf of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, in recognition of your effort.
Minister of Women Affairs, Hajaya Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, said the initiative underscores President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to women's empowerment and greater inclusion in agriculture.
Since its inception, Mr. President was very clear about inclusivity. You know, Mr. President's goal is to be able to address women's challenges economically, politically, and socially. Mr. President last month, a few months ago, launched the Social Impact Intervention for women, children, and families in 774 local government. So we're going to go all over to ensure that we domesticate this program. This program is multifaceted. It will help, in the areas of nutrition, energy transition, and addressing energy poverty for women, economically empowering them, protecting them from social vices, and also it will also help address other issues around our school enrollment and retention, because the welfare of the mothers and the stability of the families, translates into that for our children. So it's a huge program, and we're committed on this.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, represented by his deputy, Sam Ode, welcomed the intervention and committed 500 hectares of land to advance the federal government's Women in Agriculture initiative.
This intervention has tentacles in the 774 local governments of our country, Nigeria. That is quite remarkable. It shows that this government, the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has passion for women. It shows that the government is not unmindful of the pivotal position of women, not only in their homes but in governance spaces.
Benue State government officials said the minister's visit will deepen federal-state collaboration on sustainable women-focused programs in the state.
Our vision in the Benue State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare is clear: to build a safer, more inclusive and supportive environment for women, children, widows, and vulnerable persons. By leveraging the Renewed Hope agenda, we will continue to expand social protection system, broaden across to empowerment opportunities, and safeguard the dignities of every citizen.
Some beneficiaries expressed gratitude.
We've been farming, but the farming, nobody to support us. We are just farming, just to eat, but nothing to even get anything to pay children's school fees. But this in government come, they really help us. At the farm cassava, at the farm potato, at the rear goats and chicken. But since this government come, they have been touching our life through the Minister of Women Affairs. Our farm is good. We can be able now to pay our children's school fees, pay our...
I will add my farm because before I'd have challenge to do the farm because of money. But now as she helped me with the money, I will continue to the farm and I will increase, my farm will increase by the grace of God.
The Renewed Hope Empowerment Program is not just financial support, but a statement of inclusion, giving Benue women the tools to rebuild, recover, and lead in agriculture and beyond. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Technology is reshaping the lives of Nigerians' young population. From smartphones to social media, it promises endless opportunity, but it also comes with new risks. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, explores whether this digital wave is lifting youth forward or holding them back, and files in this report.
Nigerian youth are at the heart of the country's digital transformation in the last decade. The spread of mobile phones, internet platforms, and artificial intelligence has redefined how they study, work, and connect with the world. For some, technology has been a game changer, unlocking access to online education, creating paths to remote jobs, and fueling the rise of small digital businesses. Many young people see it as a blessing, one that places opportunities once out of reach right at their fingertips.
So technology has helped us in a lot of ways. Number one, I will start by saying communication. In the olden days, we used to write letter to our friends and family in different states and use post office. But now you have telephone, you have internet, and this has helped us. Even in business, you don't need to have a shop again. Online, you can just post your goods and you will make a lot of sales.
Not everyone shares that optimism. Alongside its benefits, the digital era has also exposed youth to cybercrime, misinformation, and the growing problem of social media addiction. For others, the space has become more of a trap than a tool.
All the youth now, those that are graduates and those on graduates now, they need to talk about their knowledge and their academic, so that once when they grow and they graduate, come out for their education, they must have something producing.
Another thing is negative information. You have good people posting good information on Google and other platforms. You also have bad people posting things that are not true, causing problems within governments, countries, even our celebrities. So you see people go there and learn both good and bad things.
The reality is complex. Whether technology becomes a bridge or a barrier often depends on access, awareness, and how responsibly it is used.
My advice to Nigeria is that let them provide the work for youth so that we can be able to keep ourselves in one thing or other.
As Nigeria continues to embrace the digital age, the real challenge is not in rejecting or accepting technology, but in building systems that channel its power towards inclusion and progress for the nation's young people. The future remains full of promise if innovation is matched with guidance. Sadia Yakubu, Global Television.
You are watching the live broadcast of the Midday News. When the Midday News returns, Nigerian community plans huge support for Super Eagles clash with Bafana Bafana of South Africa. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. And if you're just tuning in, this is the live broadcast of the Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We now go to business news, where the Nigerian Customs Service Board has approved a $300 de-minimized threshold value for low-value consignment imported through express shipment or passenger baggage. The Customs Service, in a statement, stated that the development aims to facilitate trade, ease import process, and reduce business costs in Nigeria, adding that it will establish multi-channel help desk platforms to support smooth policy implementation. These dedicated channels, they say, will provide timely guidance on compliance requirements, address inquiries, and resolve complaints. The new policy, effective September 8, 2025, exempts goods valued at $300 or less from import duties and taxes, provided they are not prohibited or restricted items. This move aligns with the global best practices, simplifying clearance process for low-value consignment and enhancing trade facilitation across the country. The Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers says it will still embark on its strike beginning today, Monday, despite the intervention of the federal government to address the grievances of the union. The union's president, Williams Akpohera, confirmed that the federal government had reached out to the union on the need to avert the strike. Akpohera insisted that the industrial action would go ahead, pending the outcome of the meeting with the government today. Still talking business, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, has projected a future decline in interest rates, citing easy inflation and improved capital allocation efficiency as key drivers. Speaking at the European Business Chamber, EcoCham Nigeria Sea-Level Forum in Lagos State, Cardoso emphasized that the current high lending rates, ranging between 32 and 36% on commercial loans, could see downward pressure as macroeconomic conditions stabilize. During a fireside chat moderated by Andreas Vos, chief country representative of the Deutsche Bank Nigeria, Cardoso outlined the regulatory bank's strategic priorities, including macroeconomic stability, banking sector recapitalization, and positioning Nigeria as a prime investment destination. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene. British hard rights leader Nigel Farage has rallied his enthusiastic Reform Party at the start of its annual conference, seizing on Labour government woes to insist his movement could seize power within 2 years. Addressing thousands of supporters in Birmingham, central England, Farage said earlier resignation of Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner showed the government is in deep crisis. Here's our correspondent's report. General election is not due for 4 years. The 61-year-old who rebranded his Brexit party as immigration-fixated reform in 2021 predicted Labour's struggle could force a contest far sooner, reeling off a list of issues from the record-high immigration in recent years to sluggish economic growth and alleged free speech curbs. Farage claimed in front of a crowd of reform-elected officials and members of the two-day event that the United Kingdom is the most dangerous place it has been in his lifetime.
But my sort of big message at the end of this conference, as we head towards those massive elections in Wales, in Scotland, in London, in the Midlands, and elsewhere next year, is that you are the people's army. And to succeed, it needs one thing: discipline.
Reform gathered in Birmingham buoyant after wins in May local elections and leading in most polls over the last 6 months, prompting a growing number of people to eye Farage as Prime Minister in waiting. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News. Coming down home to Africa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the M23 rebel groups has recaptured the town of Shoa in northern Kivu province just 1 day after it briefly fell under the control of the Congolese army and pro-government Wazalendo militia. Residents say the rebel launched a surprise offensive early, forcing the Wazalendo to retreat. The town of Shoa sits in Masisi territory, a region rich in gold, cobalt, and tantalum, and a hotbed of violence of over 3 months as rebels and government forces battle for control. Away from Africa to the Middle East, where a drone launched by Yemeni's Houthi rebels has struck southern Israel, hitting Ramon International Airport near Eilat and forcing a shutdown of airspace in the region. The Israeli military stated that multiple drones were launched, with some intercepted. However, at least one made impact, damaging the airport's passenger hall. The Houthis claimed responsibility, calling it a qualitative military operation and warning that the enemy airports are unsafe. Moving to the world of sports, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will have their first and only training session in Bloemfontein, South Africa today. Media officer of the team, Promise Efoge, disclosed that the first 15 minutes of the training will be open to media and fans, saying the session, which will hold at the Toyota Stadium, will start at 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Meanwhile, the leadership of the Nigerian community in South Africa has announced plans to mobilize massive support for the Super Eagles ahead of Tuesday's crucial fans qualifying World Cup game against Bafana Bafana. The president of the Nigerian Union in South Africa, Smart Mwobi, confirmed the umbrella body representing Nigerians in South Africa will visit Bloemfontein to rally support for the national team. The Group C encounter at the Toyota Stadium represents a vital fixture for Nigeria's World Cup qualifying hopes, with the Super Eagles needing victory to keep alive their chances of reaching the tournament. And that's it on the Global TV Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.